In my last video I showcased the elites that I added in the Graveyard expansion, and today I want to cover one of the new characters. So this one's one for the engineer. Since I'm playing as him, I'll swap to the character now. You can see here, this is the Excavator zombie, and his model's taken from Project Visionary but has been improved just to fit a bit more with the art style. You can see here he's got a little tricycle, if you like the references. There's quite a few in this character. And this guy works similar to Mechanic in a way, where he's a rapid fire. I'll show the weapon off here, then we'll go in a match. So if I go just to the back of the spawn, I do have these little pots that you can spawn stuff in. Let's put down the torchwood. So if I shoot him directly, I do 8 damage, and I leave a cloud that does 2. You can see he's starting to get a bit more brown. That means he's getting the mud effect. And you can rapid fire this, as you can see, and do 8, but obviously there's quite a lot of drop off, so that 8 damage will quickly fall to about 2. So it's entirely dependent on how close you are to your target. And I'm not just going to be showcasing this character today, I do have an ability to showcase, and that's the Heavy Helper. You can see this is what it looks like here. I'll spawn in another torchwood, and you can see this is still getting tested because it might be too broken, it might not be. You can see you took out the torchwood. Obviously, if you wanted to take this out and you was on the plant, you can shoot this here, that little damage buff. That will kill the main thing. Or if you're Chomper, you can actually burrow that and kill it if you really wanted to. There's multiple different ways to counter it. But with that all out the way, I'm going to jump straight on to games. Alright, so we're in the game now. I'm going to pick the character and we're going to start playing a bit of Suburbination. Now, I have updated the character selection as well for the different private play sets. You'll see here we've got both Torchwood and Hovergirt in here. I think there's one of them per side, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there's one Torchwood, one Girt. Oh, there he is there. And they work the same as if you spawn them in the backyard, if you've done that in this mod yet. Now, this is actually the first of many new characters I have added in this update. This is going to be the 1.1 update. It's not out yet because I'm still developing it, but when it is out, you'll see on my channel. Now, I've been thinking I want to go through and showcase each of the new characters, but like doing per class kind of. Like, obviously I'm doing the one engineer now. I could cover the soldiers, pirates, all that stuff. So I was thinking next I could maybe do Corn and showcase the 2 new Corns that I've added. Honestly, I'll kind of want a bit of feedback on this because I don't want to just flood videos on the mod. So just let me know in the comments if you want to see different videos on each of the different characters that I've added, because there's 9 new ones. I think there's about 20 in the mod overall now. 20, 14, it's one of the 2 numbers, I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not really going for like high variant counts. I'm mainly making sure every variant is like high quality, because I feel like in my older projects I kind of focus more on just trying to get that variant counter up and not really taking the time to give every variant a reason to exist. So, you know, there's a lot more time that's going into each of the variants compared to what I'm used to. Like, I'll be the first to say I feel like I may have like not put enough effort into some of the variants I added in Project Visionary. I know some people have been asking why I don't just add all this to Project Visionary, and that's because, to be honest, I just think this mod's a better way to develop things. I'm on a newer project that's a lot more stable, and I can add all this new stuff to it. Anything I want to bring back from Project Visionary I can, and then I can update it to make sure it's just better. I do need to try and use Heavy Helper a bit more. I feel like I'm not using it enough, I'm just firing at the plants. Now, I don't want to pick favorites when it comes to my variants, but I will in this case because I really like this one. The sound effect alone is kind of what I like about it. I feel like it just adds a lot of impact to each of his shots, but that's just me. Obviously, you guys can have your own opinion on the character once you get your hands on the mod, if you can, that is. Obviously, I know not everyone's got a PC. Like I mentioned earlier though, this mod isn't released yet, or at least this version. There is an older version of the mod that I released a few weeks ago that has a lot of the other features in. It doesn't have all the new characters, obviously not this one and a few others, but it does have quite a lot of characters already in it, along with a lot of other features too that are kind of fun to mess around with. At least in my opinion. Obviously, you would have to make that judgment for yourself. And I'd say hopefully when this version releases, people have a lot more fun with the new elites that have been added, which I showcased in my last video. To be honest, I've spent a lot of time testing, messing around with those elites in the backyard. They are really fun to mess around with. And since I've updated the backyard like zombie spawners now, like the regular pot and bot spawners for every game mode, it means that you can spawn elites anywhere you want now. So if this was a game of Gnome Bomb or Turf, I could spawn in elites if I wanted to, but obviously there's no bot spawners in here, so I can't really showcase that right now. But it's kind of just a fun little thing. If you really wanted to fight elites inside of multiplayer maps, you can do it that way instead of having to worry about them showing up inside of ops mode. I'm still trying to think of appropriate ways to incorporate elites into that, to be honest. I'm currently thinking about making it so they spawn like a guarantee on every boss wave perhaps, and then maybe make it so a champion spawns during a special wave. I'm kind of like bouncing a few ideas around on how to do that because I play ops quite often. I know a lot of people don't, but I want to make sure that ops is never annoying. It feels like you've deliberately been cheaped out on a win because an OP character has just been spawned that you can't beat. It can really be annoying when that happens. And I noticed, I played a few games of ops as Rose before, and I got a champion wave, like the one where it spawns a bunch of champions, and that was just it. That was a guaranteed loss unless other people joined. So I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen with the elites. So a lot of balancing will be taken into consideration when working on it. And along with that, I'll try to figure out a way to incorporate the Zombot into things too. Maybe through making it spawn during the Mech Gargantua boss wave or something. I'm not really too sure. Like I said, a lot of things that I'm working on is entirely just ideas at the moment. There's no real changes to ops right now because I don't want to make changes that make no sense and then I break stuff, so I have to be very careful when working on it. And that chomper just got stunned twice. So yeah, that's it for the Excavator zombie. If you want me to showcase any other characters in this mod, let me know, because there's quite a lot I would be willing to cover before I release the mod. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, maybe subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you all in the next one.